Good evening, everybody. First, I was in on a meeting, county officials in Ocean Ride last week. Good thing that came out of the meeting is we'll be looking into a possible transportation grant opportunity for Jackson. Ocean Ride is an Ocean County-run transportation service that Jackson residents use. Ocean Ride provides non-emergency door-to-door service to Ocean County seniors 60 and over, and also persons with disabilities who are over 18 years of age with valid documentation. I didn't know Ocean Ride was also available to disabled persons 18 and over, and that it takes some Jackson residents on Fridays from our town senior center to Brick Plaza, which I frequented growing up in Brick. The great thing about being on the Township Council is you seem to learn something new every day. The cost to use Ocean Ride is minimal. There's a discount on the cost to use the service if you have a PAD card. Ocean Ride is free to Jackson, Ocean County veterans to 5 VA facilities, including James J. Howard Veterans Clinic in Brick. For interested Jackson residents, or if you live in Jackson and have loved ones who live in other Ocean County towns that could benefit from Ocean Ride, please go to their website for more information at www.co.ocean.nj.us/C/transportation with a capital T, or just Google Ocean Ride, or you can call 732-736-8989. Press 1 to speak with the representative Monday through Friday from the hours of 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Also, I want to encourage our fellow residents to join us at our annual Jackson's National Night Out Against Crime, which is next Tuesday, August 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m. in the Jackson Shopping Plaza, where the ShopRite is located on County Line Road. It looks like they'll be having some cool things for kids and adults alike. More information about this event can be found on the Jackson Township website under Township Spotlight, What's Happening in Jackson Township. So hope to see you there to support the JTPD and our first responders. Nice seeing you all. Take care and have a good evening and a safe ride home.
Thank you. Councilman Chisholm.
Good evening. Thank you. I don't know if anybody caught it last night, but we had somebody got some positive press from our Jackson Jaguars Pop Warner football team. Their snack bar was the highlight. It was pretty good. So we apparently have a professional chef now over there, not just cooking burgers and dogs, but making it a gastro pub almost. So I personally think it's great, and I'm looking forward to going over there and contributing and helping not only to feed myself, but to just lift up the kids and donate to their cause and keep their Pop Warner growing, especially after the year they had last year. So if you don't want just burgers and dogs, they're going to give our restaurants a run for the money over there. So I encourage you to get there and support the kids and watch that. Also, I'd like to follow up with Councilman Borelli, our Jackson Night Out next week on Tuesday, August 3rd. Hope you'll come out there and join us. Bring the kids for some touch a truck and all that good stuff. The fire department will be out there. The police will be out there. All of our first responders come on out and support them and learn about the town and the services they're offering. And finally, don't forget to save Jackson Day on October 2nd, which will be over at Johnson Park, and we'll talk more about that in the future. So thanks for coming out and have a great night.
Thank you. Councilman Sawicki.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out. I just wanted to say a congratulations to our council president, Andrew Kern. He found out this week that he was appointed to the Ocean County Board of Social Services. Social services in general is a passion of his. He's very dedicated to helping bring those types of services to those in need. It's also something this council has been actively pursuing with respect to having representation at the county level. Jackson historically has been incredibly light in having representation at the county, despite being the largest by landmass in the county. So last year we lobbied and worked to get an appointment to the Ocean County Land Trust with Council Vice President Fleming, with Council President Kern on there. Again, it's important that Jackson be represented at the county, that we understand what services are available for residents of Jackson, and we have somebody who's fighting for Jackson to get those services here in town. And no doubt Council President Kern will do that. As far as I could tell, it's the first time ever we've had two sitting councilmen represent us in a board or at a board within the county. The other thing I wanted to just mention along the lines of some of the other community items and good news. This weekend, I had the honor, I was asked to represent the mayor and council at my second Scout Eagle Court of Honor, the second in 3 weeks for Scouts Michael Fremer, Jonathan Riccardi, and Jonah Tarza. All three made Eagle. It's an incredible accomplishment. Less than 4% of Scouts ever make that achievement. This is the seventh, represents the seventh Scout in the last month and a half from Troop 204, which is, again, I was in Scouts. I know how hard it is to become an Eagle. And to have 7 in the last 2 months really speaks to the volunteers and the parents that are in that troop. So congratulations to them. And again, just a great Jackson story and community item. Other than that, thank you all again for coming out tonight, and safe drive home.
Thank you. Council Vice President Fleming,
Thank you. Turn that on tonight.
please.
As well as being able to serve on the council, I had the pleasure of being on our planning board. And in that capacity, I do get to hear many, many land use cases. Some of them are of very little consequence, except to the people that are actually involved in that, separating a piece of property to create a piece of property for the son or a daughter. Some of them are a lot more controversial. Either way, every application that comes before us or the zoning board of adjustment creates change. The longer you've been in town, the more change you've seen. Some change is good, some change is great. Some is not so good, but the change is inevitable. This brings me to something that one of our former zoning officers, Bill Fox, told me a long time ago, and it's stuck with me. Jackson is a fantastic place, great place to live. One of our biggest issues is that everyone that comes here wants to be the last person in the door. It's a great statement. It's a powerful statement. I'd like to add my own caveat to that, something I felt for a long time. When the early major influxes of population came into town, late 50s, early 60s, it seemed to me, especially looking back with the amount of people that I've met in business and what I've done in town, that the new people that came in seemed to want to leave the congestion that they left behind and slow down and meet the Jackson that they found. Slowly, that seemed to change over years. Instead of wanting to just join the sleepy little town that we were for years and years and years, it seemed like everyone wanted to bring all the congestion from up north with them. Now that's happened. And the yearning for what we used to have is there. You see it in people that have been here for more than a few months. Unfortunately, change, just like time, just keeps moving, and there's nothing we can do about that. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve executive session meeting minutes of July 13th, 2021?
So moved.
Roll call.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm?
Yes.
Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming?
Yes.
We have one ordinance for second reading this evening. Ordinance 15-21 is to authorize the private sale for nominal consideration of certain real property owned by the Township of Jackson to the Jackson Township Board of Fire Commissioners, District Number 2, pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-21. We will now have the public hearing on ordinance 15-21. If you wish to speak on this ordinance, please come to the microphone. And kindly identify yourself for the record.
Good evening. Robert Reddington, 225 North Hope Chapel. I currently serve as secretary to the Board of Fire Commissioners, District 2. This project has been underway for some time, creation of a new fire station in town. I'd like to thank the Township Councilman very much for this approval, particularly Vice President Fleming. This will be a structure that will bring greater fire protection to the township, to the district in particular, for the Cassville Fire Company. The current fire station on Toms River Road, we literally have outgrown the structure. Still useful, still viable, firefighters still responding out of that. But as time marches forward, the creation of a new fire station truly is necessary. And the acquisition of this property from the township will reduce the financial burden on the taxpayers of the town. Again, I just wanted to thank the councilman for this project, for moving it along, and we won't let you down. You'll have a nice fire station in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thanks for everything.
Hello, Paul Joyce. I live at 217 West Veterans, right next door. I have some concerns about the property and the way you're going to build this, because you don't have much road frontage there. And for everything I'm reading about, it's going to be a big piece. I know you got 12 acres, but it runs down along the side of the park. Is there anything?
Well, I cannot speak for the Board of Fire Commissioners. I am no longer one.
Okay.
I do know the station is going to be set back off the road.
And what would the setback be? You have,
Well, there's no architectural plans as of yet.
okay,
But 400 or 500 feet off the road.
okay.
It will also have to meet all of the setback requirements that the township has in its ordinances. It's going to have to meet everything. It's going to have to meet Minelands. There are things it will have to meet.
Okay.
So you can always join and be part of it.
Well, I would like to at least know what's going on next door to me. That's a,
You
there's
can,
only,
I will tell you where you will get more information would be the fire commissioners also have a meeting on third, give me a date, I'm sorry. Second Thursday of every month at the Miller Road Fire Station is where that meeting happens.
Okay.
And you can probably get more information there. Do realize that this is still in infancy.
yeah,
So
that's,
there's no architecturals, there's no bonds in place yet. It's going to be probably, unfortunately, a little while.
all right. And,
But if you want input, that's where you want to go.
you know, I'm also thinking a $3 million building on the, you know, taxpayers,
Oh, I doubt it's going to be a $3 million building.
okay? New Jersey.
I think the district is a little bit more frugal than that.
Okay. I appreciate your time.
You got it. Anyone else? Seeing no one come forth? Need a motion to close public session.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
It's
None?
just all in favor.
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion to approve ordinance 15-21 and advertise the notice of passage and approval in an approved newspaper as required by law.
So moved.
Now might have a roll.
And now we need a rule. Yes. Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
Thank you. We have no ordinances this evening for first reading. Does council have any discussion on any resolutions?
No.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to public comment on resolutions. If you wish to speak on any resolutions on tonight's agenda, please come to the microphone.
Seeing no one else come forward, move to close public portion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 272R-21 is to authorize the purchase of 6 police interceptor SUV vehicles in the amount of $209,002.38 from Buyer Ford, an approved ESCNJ co-op vendor for the Jackson Township Police Department.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Yes. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
273R-21, authorize the purchase of 3 Ford Bronco vehicles in the amount of $85,097.91 from Buyer Ford, an approved ESCNJ co-op vendor for the Jackson Township Police Department.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm? Yes. Councilman Sawicki?
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
274R-21, authorize the purchase of 1 Ford F-250 in the amount of $54,998.50 from Buyer Ford, an approved state contract vendor for the Jackson Township Police Department.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
275R-21, authorized payment in the amount of $22,586.50 to Multi-Temp Mechanical Incorporated for additional HVAC installation and service for the Jackson Township Senior Center building.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
276R-21 is a resolution authorizing the execution of an application to NJDEP, Division of Land Use Regulation regarding Sam's Road.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
277R-21, approve participation in the State of New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety State Fiscal Year 21 Body Worn Camera Grant Program, award number 21-BWC-212, in the amount of $273,092, and further authorize acceptance of same.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
278R-21 is a resolution appointing Methessel and Werbel under the non-fair and open process to serve as the special counsel for certain litigation matters for the balance of calendar year 2021.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
Thank you. May I have a motion for bills and claims?
So moved.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
With the exception of.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, but with the exception of abstaining on vendor numbers EYE 01, NJS 04, RUT 04, STA 54, TRE 10, and TRE 34.
Thank you. Councilman Chisholm.
Yes, I'm standing for BLI 18, CLN 44, TW 04, RUT 04, and TSO 2.
Thank you. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
We'll move on to the consent agenda, which is one vote for all of these resolutions. 279R-21, approved Township Council meeting minutes of July 13th, 2021. 280R-21, authorize renewal of a mining license to Clayton Sand Company for Block 19001, lots 11.02 and 12, and Block 19101, lots 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7 for a one-year period. 281R-21, approval for the insertion of a special item of revenue and appropriation pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-87 for the fiscal year 2022 NJDHTS Pedestrian Safety Grant. 282R-21, approval for the insertion of a special item of revenue and appropriation pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-87 for the fiscal year 2021 Body Worn Camera Grant Program. 283R-21, approved treasurer's report for the month of June 2021. 284R-21, amend resolution 072R-21, authorizing purchases and/or services from approved New Jersey state contract vendors to add CDW Government LLC and Municipid for calendar year 2021. 285R-21, amend resolution 072R-21, authorizing purchases and/or services from approved New Jersey state contract vendors to increase the anticipated spending for Multi-Temp Mechanical Incorporated for calendar year 2021. 286R-21, authorize the sale by public auction motor vehicles in the possession of the Jackson Township Police Department pursuant to RS 39:10A-1 and NJSA 40A:11-36. Wait, there's more. Authorized tax overpayment refunds is 287R-21. 288R-21, memorialize the extension of the grace period to August 17th, 2021 for the August 1st, 2021 tax quarter due to the delay in mailing the tax bills. 289R-21, authorize disabled American veteran exemption on Block 4302, Lot 31. 290R-21, authorize the DAV exemption on Block 4717, Lot 11.01. 291R-21, authorize the DAV exemption on Block 11901, Lot 5.12. And 292R-21 is to authorize the DAV widow exemption on Block 11801, Lot 76.01.
Thank you.
Second.
I'm tired.
And a roll call?
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Chisholm. Councilman Sawicki.
Yes.
Council Vice President Fleming.
Yes.
Perfect. We will now have public comment on any topic. If you wish to address the council, please come to the microphone and identify yourself clearly for the record, please. Don't tell me nobody's going to get up. Oh, there we go.
Good evening, everybody. Richard Chulo, 215 Grant Avenue in Seaside Heights. I'm going to try to be as brief as I can because I think you're at record pace to finish this meeting. Mr. McGuckin, if at any point in time I begin to cross a line, please feel free to slam the brakes on me, okay? Back on July 1st, I addressed an email to each of you. I'm going to hope that you're familiar with that email. It has to do with the release of a document that I believe that was released to the public improperly as a result of conversations that I've had with the township clerk. Are you familiar with the email that I sent?
Yes.
And in the course of that email, I think I respectfully requested that an investigation be conducted to divulge either if there was a mistake, which I don't believe for a moment that there was. And to your credit, I think I certainly went out of my way to say my full support for the work that you're doing. And I think that your explanation to me was credible, which leaves me to ask you for that investigation. At the end of the email, I asked just the courtesy of a reply email saying, I've received your correspondence. I didn't get any of that. So I don't know, number one, that you received them. Now I do. Number two, whether it was your intention to take my concerns seriously enough that you would be doing an investigation.
We've taken your concerns seriously. We're having discussions with our legal team, and that's as far as we're going to go because it becomes a personnel problem, and I'm not going to discuss it any further in public.
And I understand that. It's important for me to make sure that you understand my concern in terms of the severity of something like that, because I do believe to an extent the individuals who were the target of that correspondence may be pursuing litigation against the individuals who released it, not from the township perspective, but on social media. Unfortunately, that may include the township as well, because somehow that document became public outside of the Open Public Records Act protocol. So I'm grateful that you're taking it seriously, and I assume at some point we'll get an update on where things stand. The other topic I wanted to address first, I can't say thank you enough to code enforcement, to zoning, and to all of you for supporting their efforts. I stand before you tonight as the founder and leader of a group called Rise Up Ocean County, and in the course of the last 2.5 years, to the best of my capabilities and the group's capabilities, we've encouraged, for lack of a better term, municipalities in Ocean County to strictly enforce code and strictly enforce zoning. We recognize the limitations of the zoning teams and the code enforcement teams in each of the municipalities that we are currently working. You are plaintiffs in a lawsuit that I had the opportunity to read the response that was given to that lawsuit. And in the course of the response, there were certain points that were made by the defendant's attorneys that make me very uncomfortable. And I want to put it on the record tonight if I can. And again, Mr. McGuckin, if this is improper, interrupt me. There were inferences made in the defendant's representations that somehow or another, our group or some other specific individuals were somehow driving the bus behind code enforcement and zoning. I feel that that inference is wholly improper and inaccurate. And the truth of the matter is we're nothing more than concerned residents of a multitude of different towns in Northern Ocean County who rely heavily on our township's zoning and code enforcement officers to enforce strictly the ordinances that are currently on the books. And that means that sometimes we need to provide information. I'll give as an example, 71 East Connecticut Concourse at 7:30 at night. We've had this discussion before, and previously you had said that there would be a phone number that would be available that could be called after hours, and maybe somebody would respond, maybe somebody wouldn't. The truth of the matter is, there is a group of us that are more than happy to go out there, document the activities that we see, and then submit that information to the town. To that end, I had also sent an email to each of you regarding the activities on that property a few weeks back. I did get one reply, and I was grateful to receive that reply because the reply was actually grateful for the efforts that we put in. The truth of the matter is, at 7:30 on a Friday night, I'd much rather be home watching reruns of Ray Donovan, but we can't always count on you. And I guess the point I'm trying to stress is that in the course of that litigation, the inference that was made was that somehow or another there's some type of collusion taking place. And I want it on the record, most ridiculous allegation I've ever heard. The truth of the matter is, our communication with township officials is done primarily, principally, and almost exclusively through email. There is a paper chain that people can follow if they feel so inclined. But the truth is, Mr. McGuckin, that type of an allegation that's made in a serious lawsuit like this, I spoke with an attorney this morning. Our hope is that we might be able to participate in this and at least defend the actions of our group. And I think it's appropriate that we do. Whether or not Judge Hodgson will allow us that opportunity remains to be seen, but that's our intention. You have enough on your plate right now. You don't need that as well. So that's about all I've got. But again, thank you for taking serious the concerns of the residents of Jackson Township, particularly for that property. The idea that it's somehow or other being singled out, I just don't feel comfortable with that. So that's it. Have a great night.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Seeing no one else come forward, move to close public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move to close.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Give me a second. Thank you for coming this evening.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yellow.